Rockville City Council is considering lowering the voting age from 18 to 16 to draw it in line with a national trend. Mike, what national trend? And is this a good idea?
Well, I'm not sure that I know of what the national trend is. I think we're always looking for ways to continue to increase civic engagement. And as a former chair of the Montgomery College Board of Trustees and having been a county council member and seeing what the role that the student board member plays, the SMOB plays there, the Board of Education, I think that there is a tremendous insight that youth can bring. I think that there is a way to continue to get people engaged. I think we've seen over the course of the past national and statewide elections that we've seen an increase in the youth movement, which I think is a great thing. How sustainable that is remains to be seen. Candidly, though, I think of the issues that are out there, and I think of the challenges that we're confronting as our communities continue to grow. I'm not sure that that necessarily leaps to the top of the list I would be looking to address, but I think that it's as one who continues to try and find ways to increase civic engagement, I think if that's a way that we can do it, it's probably worth at least having the conversation.
Well, look, I'm a curmudgeon and I'm old. And, I remember when I was a teenager and I was really stupid. And I don't think that was, so unusual for teenagers to be really not understanding the scope of the world and world problems. Well, and I was part of the generation that went from 21 to 18 in the right to vote. And it was all, understandable. If you're going to fight for your country at 18, you should be able to vote for your country. The reduction of the age to 16 just seems to mystify me. It seems like it's just, one more.
However, I'd go back. If intelligence were a criteria for voting, I'm not sure how many people would actually be able to vote today. So, well,
there are people who watch the show that think I'm pretty stupid still. So
not necessarily you, but I think. Yes, I think we need to make sure that lots of people are better educated on the issues that they're confronting in the polling place, and we should be doing that much more broadly across our country.
Yeah. So, Laurie, there is another nuance to the proposal that's being bandied about in Rockville, and that is, that it would also allow non-U.S. citizens the right to vote. Why is that a good idea?
This is not about getting more people to vote. Under 17% of voters voted in the Rockville election. Bridget Newton, the mayor, she got 7,600 votes. So what this is really about is trying to make sure that no Republican can win an election. If you expand it to vote, if you expand voting to under 18 and to undocumented immigrants, those people are more manipulable. Is that the word? Manipulable. You can change their minds easy, and you can have control over them while they're in the schools. You can also get their interest as they're new coming into this, since they're getting all this money from the liberal side as they come to the United States. It's they're going to be voting for Democrats. You're going to get more Democratic votes. So
the Rockville elections are nonpartisan, aren't they? I mean, that was my.
That's what they say, but I can tell you,
I'm pretty sure
Mulligan ran she's a Republican, but she ran as a nonpartisan. But everybody knew, all the Democrats made sure they knew she was a Republican and don't vote for her, and they formed a coalition, a slate to prevent her from getting more votes.
Well, I guess I'm intrigued at the notion of increasing the amount of voters necessarily going to Democrats as opposed to Republicans. It would seem to me if we can get more people to vote and we can provide them with the right tools, they're going to be better informed and they're going to make better decisions on behalf of our communities and our states and our country. I don't know how getting more people necessarily ends up on one party or the other.
Well, I think
I agree. We need to educate more.
The question really, let's parse this out. The question is, should non-U.S. citizens have the right to vote? I mean, it's not just generating new voters.
Right. I think you need to earn the right to vote.
Citizenship should be granted to non-U.S. citizens.
Yeah, no, I mean, non-citizen, I mean, I would never expect to go over to another country and be able to immediately vote without being a citizen. That is just crazy. I would not expect anyone to give me that privilege. It's a privilege to vote. We don't just give people out, you know, you just can't just vote because you happen to be living here. I mean, that's just,
We only have a minute left. Mike, let's take a crack at that.
Sure. No, I mean, I think in community elections where you have residents who have lived in the community and they may be here legally to work, they may be here on green card status, and they are residents of a community. I think that's something worth entertaining. I think at a federal level, I think it becomes an interesting question. I think at a state level, that becomes a question. But I think in a community election where you are legally, you're here, you're a resident of the community, and to be able to vote on the things that are affecting the community in which you live, I think that's something that's worthy of consideration.
Well, you're going to have the last word on that because we have to go wrap up this topic.